Aharon Hill, owner, photographer, and educator for Aharon Hill Photography. Today I want to introduce myself and my new channel so you'll know exactly who you're learning from. Now, just a little about me. I'm an award-winning published photographer with a 12-year career of photographing families, weddings, and even Joe Biden. During that time, I've acquired lots of creative and logistical knowledge, and I've now reached the point in my career where I not only want to shoot, but also want to share with newer photographers everything I've learned along the way. And I just want to pause for a second to explain my journey to becoming a photographer, because literally it saved me from a miserable career that was not for me. Back in high school, I was all about the performing and visual arts, but I figured I needed to choose a more practical major when I went to college. So ultimately, that practical major I chose was political science. Anyway, suddenly all my political science friends were taking the LSAT, and before I knew it, I was on the law school train too. I completely abandoned my artistic dreams, and I was ready to squeeze my round peg into a square hole. And my ultimate goal was just to ace the bar exam. I tried not to give too much thought to the fact that the path I was on actually led to a boring office job that was not the least bit artistic. So there I was, a practicing attorney, sitting at my desk in downtown Atlanta, crafting leases and wearing beige suits that I hated. I was working 12-hour days, missing vacations, and literally having nightmares about insurance clauses. At the time, I was in my 20s, and all I could see in front of me was a long, dark tunnel with no light at the end. I knew that eventually I wanted a family and an artistic career, and I didn't see how that could jive with the life I was leading back then. So after a lot of soul searching and 3 years of practice, I turned in my letter of resignation. It wasn't an easy decision, but there was no logical break or stopping point. I had to slam on the brakes and take a major detour. So there I was with a fancy degree that couldn't do a darn thing to help me realize my new dream of being a photographer. So I know what it's like to be in the situation of having identified photography as your dream career, yet not being fully equipped with the resources to make that dream come true. So in order for me to learn what I needed to know in order to build a successful photography career, I had to comb through books, YouTube videos, blog posts, camera manuals, shadow established photographers. I deconstructed photos to recreate lighting scenarios, and I was doing all this while trying to cobble together an income. So I definitely earned my stripes, and it was for sure a character building experience. But back then, if you had told me that I could have a resource with 12 years of knowledge and experience to show me the ropes, rather than having to pick and glean nuggets of knowledge from endless resources, I would have jumped for joy. So the goal of this channel will be to give you guys 12 years worth of easily digestible chunks of knowledge in the form of technical training, mindset shifting, business strategies, best practices, and good old-fashioned inspiration. I'm also in the process of building my very first photography course, which will ultimately give you a roadmap for bringing value to each session in the form of capturing beautifully lit and captivating imagery and directing a successful shoot. If that sounds amazing to you, please subscribe to this channel so you'll know each time we release a new episode. And click the link below to sign up for our newsletter so you'll be notified of course announcements and freebies as I release them. But now, I want to put the ball in your court for a sec. If you're watching this, then most likely you're some sort of photographer who wants to learn stuff from me. So what would you love for me to teach you? Email me with any and all questions. You may just find that your question gets its very own episode. All right, that's it for this week. See you next week.